to the LCL Radio Show. I am your host, Latasha. Watch out now. The LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. Watch out now. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. Watch out now. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. Security. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. Security. Watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out now. Security. Watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out now. Security.
All right. Let's get this thing started. Yes, sir. Watch out now. It's your girl Latasha with the LCL Show. Security. Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and we are actually live on IG. Watch out now. You guys, I have a great show today. I have some amazing guests. I am your host, Latasha, for those of you who do not know. But do us a favor, and I say us because I have a nice entourage today. Watch out now. And then, some amazing guests, really, really amazing guests who's going to drop some dope knowledge, okay? So I want you guys to go ahead and share this live. Even if it's not for you, it may be for someone who's watching or may need this knowledge. You never know how many people we can help tonight. Watch out now. So thank you guys so much. Go ahead and share. Y'all like my voice? I be trying. You know what I mean? Don't judge me. Security. Oh, I thought somebody said something. Watch out now. All right, guys. So I have my guests who I'm gonna bring on in a minute. And they're just not any guests, you guys. I mean, we have a group of very knowledgeable men who are going to be sharing a lot of information as far as business, investment, financial literacy, etc. Watch out now. And then we're just going to have a good time overall. Security. Oh, because I thought somebody said something. Watch out now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce the entire men that we have today, the entire guests that I have today. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on, and I'm going to introduce them, and I'm going to unmute their mics. I have everybody muted right now. Okay, guys, you're about to be unmuted. Watch out now. Hey!
Yes, sir.
Watch out now.
What's up?
All right. So, to my, I guess this will be my right and your left. To my right, I have Mr. David. How you doing, David?
Good. How are you guys doing?
All is well. Go ahead and just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
My name is David Gonzalez. Jan and I, we actually graduated together from Old Dominion University. We used to work actually in the same place, Dominion team. And now I'm a grad student. I'm working on my PhD at Penn. And, during quarantine, I just got really into investing and financial literacy. And, man, it's something that I now see that people certainly need to know about this. And, the younger, the better. But I'm going to pass the mic over to Jan because he's the one that really put me on to this whole game and everything.
All right, watch out now. So this way down below, you guys, we have Terry Young. How's it going, Terry Young?
Hey, what's up?
He just passed you the baton, so go ahead and introduce yourself. Watch out now.
Yeah, like David said, me and him, we met down at ODU. We was in college. After that, we was interning. Is when we first met at Surrey Power Station. Is a nuclear power station. So we started, seeing each other in class and stuff on campus. So we kind of became friends and all that. So I would say it was late in 2018 or late in 2019. I had just bought my house, and one of my coworkers said something to me about not putting extra money in my house to pay off my mortgage fast. And I was like, what you mean? Because the big thing for me was like pay off the mortgage, free up my money. He was like, nah, man, your house grows at a 3% rate. The value of your home grows at a 3% rate every year. So by me having a 3.8% interest rate, I'm basically already beating the interest just from home appreciation value. So he told me to talk to one of our other coworkers and start learning about investing. So I was like, what are you talking about? All I could think about was Ponzi schemes, people getting scammed and stuff, because that's all you ever heard about. I was like, nah, man, they tripping, man.
So you just ready to party. You just ready to live your best life. You ain't have time for none of that. Watch out now.
Yeah. So
but hold on, we gonna get into it. I know you got a lot of knowledge and a lot of information and a lot of nuggets to drop for us. Watch out now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let Mr. Adriel Hansborough introduce himself.
How you guys doing? My name is Adriel Hansborough, the handsome husband of Miss Latasha Hansborough. I met David through Jan. I met Jan first through another mutual friend. We all really close now. I just know Terrion has been talking to me about stocks for like 6, 8, at least a year now from when he started. And, you know, when I got on, I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'd rather have my money saved in a nice savings account where it's not going to have, you know, ups and downs, downs and downs, ups and ups. But Terrion really motivated me and my wife to really start investing. I ain't going to go too much into detail, like she said. We're going to get into that later. But very, very, very smart man, like both college graduates, both financially stable, both financially everything. So they finna drop that bag on y'all.
All right, so we're gonna have an interesting show tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go ahead and like and share this live, because I'm ready to begin with the questions, because not only am I here to provide you guys with the knowledge, but I'm here to learn myself. Watch out now, I have not had the time to get one-on-one with none of these women, of course, except for my husband. Security. Oh, because I was about to say I can't get one-on-one with my husband. Watch out now. All right. So thank you guys for introducing yourself. Thank you everybody for watching. Let's go ahead and get into it now. Terrion, I have a quick question for you, and you guys can pretty much piggyback off of Terrion's comments and everything. You know, you can pass the baton whenever you get ready. Watch out now. So you was telling us a little bit earlier about how you got started and how, you know, when it came to you was just so interested in partying. But you know, you didn't pay no attention. So what made this whole idea? What made you get the attention that you have now to really focus on your investments?
So how it first went for me was the person who told me about it actually is a broker. So he's a full-time employee at the company I work for, and just in his free time, he's a broker. Like I put like, I don't know, $1,000 or like a few hundred, a couple thousand. I don't know how much I put into this account, and I started to just watch. I was like, all right, I got like this money saved up, so I'm gonna just play with a little bit of it, see what happened. And I saw the account it kept growing and growing and growing. I was like, what? So he kept telling me about Boeing. He kept saying, yeah, man, Boeing is down, it's cheap, all that stuff. So I started downloading all these apps he was telling me about. I just started like reading, started watching stuff.
So you got busy.
Yeah, so then I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just start buying some of the stocks of the company that I work for, and it was moving real slow. So I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And I remember saying Boeing was like $90, and I had bought a full share.
What is Boeing for the people who do not know, like myself? Watch out now.
So they make airplanes and all that kind of stuff. They big in the aviation space, and they like backed up by a whole bunch of like government money, basically defense contracts and all that kind of stuff. So that's what first made me about these stocks. I was like, man, they backed up like the government, you know, a lot of money. So that'd be good for us. So it's just little stuff like that you just learn. And so I started reading about similar stocks and then getting into the cruise lines and all these other kind of stocks. And I was like, man, I'm watching the market and I see the money moving. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely finna get in all this.
So it caught your eye when you started seeing the numbers generate.
Yeah, but I hadn't put any of my personal money into any of the apps that I personally had. I was just watching the stock go from like $90 to 93 to 91 to 94, and I was like, man, if I just buy this and hold it, like Warren Buffett saying, I'll be out looking at the history of the S&P 500, all that stuff. I was like, man, and I kept saying to myself, had I bought myself one share of Tesla for my birthday in October of 2019, it was like $50. That stock is almost $1,000 today.
Wow, it definitely is. So before we even get into the whole Tesla thing, I want to go ahead and get some insight from David. David, I'm gonna bring you on screen. Hey, David. Watch out now. So, David, as you heard what Terrion was saying, so being that you're an accountant, correct?
I'm an engineer, just like Jan.
Oh, you're an engineer. Okay, watch out now. But are you good with numbers?
Yeah, well, both of my parents are CPAs, and I've always really had the like financial literacy and live within your means like really nailed down from the beginning. So that's good. But they never really taught me like, you know, the next stage, which is like investing and opening up, you know, new income streams and all of that. So I've just kind of been figuring out as I go. But similar to what Jan was saying, when I graduated, a lot of my friends that went into the industry started investing through their like company given like 401ks and all of that. And I just thought, you know, me going into grad school, like not making that much money, I thought like, all right, well, it's something I should do like later on when I am actually at a you know regular job. But then the COVID drop happened, and I knew like if you bought in right after the 2008 financial recession, you would have came out way on top because you basically bought in at the lowest point, and then you just like wait for the spike to like go back up. If you look at 2008 and what happened, especially in the markets, it was only like if you go back, it goes down, and then if you look forward a year, like 2009, 2010. It's back to like 2008 levels, and then it's going up even further. So I started investing back in May, like right after the COVID drop. So I basically bought in at
so
like
this May, you mean? I mean, I'm sorry, 2019,
2020, right after the COVID situation and everything happened. So from there, like, I mean, you can, you know, pick basically any industry that was heavily impacted by COVID, and you can see it like shoot right back up thanks to like the federal government bailing us out with trillions of money investing into the like the markets and everything. I mean, when you look at some of those bills that they pass, you know, the $1,200.
So the bills that they pass, like basically with the law, that matters on that matters when it comes to generating stock.
Yes, and that matters way more than people think because, you know, everyone talks about the $1,200 checks that everyone gets. That's only 20% of that bill. The grand majority of that bill is going to government contracts. It's going to bailing out corporations. It's going to pumping up the stock market. It's going to basically just regenerating our economy. So if you just have like money like sitting in the bank, all the money that the federal government is printing out, like trillions of dollars to boost up the economy, like inflation is going to go up. So your dollar is really losing money if it's just sitting in a bank account. And it's the reason why the really rich got way richer after COVID, because the grand majority of the federal spending is going into, you know, assets. It's going into securities. It's going into the market. And bailouts like that. So if you can move your money from places like, I don't know, your bank account or something like that into something that's going to get pumped up by the government, like a security, like a stock, like something in the market, then you're going to come on top. You know what I mean?
So basically, let me just sum this all up in a nutshell. It'll be wise to take your money and invest it versus having it sit in a bank account because it's not gaining anything.
Absolutely. In fact, you're probably losing money just because there's like a 1% inflation rate on the dollar every year, and your savings account gives you on average what, like 0.01% for every, you know, it's like it doesn't really grow at all. So just by having your money like sit there, it's actually, you know, over time the value of the dollar loses. You know, value due to inflation.
That's exactly right.
So you got to put it into things that are going to grow. You know what I mean? And the market is great because it's highly liquid. So you can very quickly, if you need, you know, take that money out and use it, you know, for whatever you might need.
So this is something that we should take advantage of, because you're saying that since they gave out all that money, it devalued the dollar.
Well, correct, especially right now, but this is something that people should be doing regardless, even if COVID wasn't a thing. Right now, we're seeing such a great run in the market because the federal government is literally printing out trillions of dollars to help us. There's no reason the stock market should be doing as well as it is right now.
So the market is doing better than the dollar.
What's up?
The stock market is doing better than the dollar right now.
It's always going to do better than the dollar.
The stock market is doing better than the value of the dollar.
Yes.
As far as growth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So David, hold on real quick. We're gonna bring Adriel on because I have some questions for him. And guys, I want you to have the information ready and available because the biggest thing for me is knowing which stocks to invest in and why. We don't have to name them all in particular because I know there's a lot out there, but to let the people know who are watching what to look for in stock that they want to invest in and say, okay, that might be a good idea, or this might not be a good idea to invest in the stock. So just something to think about when I come back to you, because I'm going to want that, you guys to share that information, okay? All right, Adriel, let's get it.
All right, guys, so before we get started, if you want to get any more of this information, if you want to get really technical about what stocks you should buy when we get into more option plays, a little bit more technical stuff, make sure you hit up me, David, or Terion. We have an Investors Anonymous group chat, $10.69 a month, about the average price of your Netflix subscription. So if you want to make money, and I can tell you, you'll make more than that in one day in the stock market if you take it serious.
Okay, so look, I got a few questions for you, Adriel. I see you all gassed up and ready to go into it. How long have you been into the stock market?
So for me, a while, like about right around beginning of COVID, like David was saying, I was talking to Terion a lot because that's when he really started making his posts. Like, and a lot of people weren't paying no attention, but I saw, because when I see green, you know what I'm saying, it's going to attract my attention every time. So Jan, I'm looking at Jan Instagram stories, and all he posting is how he putting his money in the stock market, and it's looking like this, you feel me? So I was like, Jan like put me on game. And also one of your friends was talking to us about how she made a play on NEO, which is an EV stock, and she made like over a lot of money, over 6 figures off of that one stock. So me, who loves the idea of getting money, I was like, shoot, babe, let's and we came together, we threw some money in the stock market. We didn't really know much, so we just bought like the big names like Tesla, Facebook, you know what I mean? Like that, like stocks like that, like Fang, like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look, we was dipping our toe in the water.
I was like, hold on now.
You hear me? Because we so used to like, okay, you want to see your money in the bank and you know it's safe and you know ain't nobody gonna touch it or mess with it unless you mess with it. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go in there and take it out anyway. That's another reason I love investing, because I ain't gonna just go take my money out because I know they're gonna tax me on it. And it's, come on now, this the government, they getting their piece. If you making money, the government gonna want some.
Watch out.
That's just America. But I really knew that if I put my money in the stock market, I'm not gonna really be trying to pull it out because I'm gonna see it grow. And just like so we started her account, and then I started my account December 28th.
So
last year, December 28th, last year. So about 3 weeks ago, and I'm up over 20% on my investment.
Watch out now, you're so right about that. And I'm not gonna lie, when he came to me with the whole idea, all I heard was done it. And I'm trying to run my business, and I'm just like, you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. But I know that you guys who are watching me, honest, I must say that I saw game well, security, all like that. Come on, what you was talking about? What y'all said? So yes, it is definitely a good idea. And I have watched my money grow. So now, when it comes down to actually investing, you guys, for a little bit. And if you guys are watching, if you have comments and questions, go ahead and write it in the comments and we'll do our best to answer it. But how person do to this thing? Like, what's the first thing you should do? And
So
like,
the first thing you should do is hit up.
stock market app as well for them to download.
The first thing you should do is contact me, David or Jan, and join our Investors Anonymous group chat for $10.69 a month. Best investing in your life, I promise.
Okay, so
I'm passing the mic.
watch out
And
now.
I have my Instagram set up too, Daddy9, where I just talk about everything that I was learning from start to from, you know what I'm saying, like over a year ago to right now, where it basically detail and explain the whole market. And you can talk to anyone else, we'll talk to you and let you know like how stuff go. So I mean, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you not playing with money that you're not gonna need, that you're gonna need for 5 years. So give yourself, you know what I'm saying, like you put
that you're not gonna like that you're going to need.
so the thing like we talk about, I have accounts that, let's say I have an account that's up 50%. Tomorrow it could drop and be down 10%. That won't really happen, but anything is possible. So I don't want to be forced to pull that money out because I need it to go pay my bills. So whatever I invest, I'm not planning on touching for 5 years, because if you give yourself, the more you extend that time horizon for your stocks to grow, the safer your investment is going to be. Stocks tend to grow and go up. So that's just how it goes.
Okay, so don't invest you're gonna need. And what do you think that also, David, what's the difference between long-term and short-term investment?
Short-term investing is a lot scarier.
So it really depends on your risk tolerance, and that's something that, you know, before you get into investing, you should really think about why you're investing in the first place, how much risk you can tolerate. And I think, so people say like, oh, I don't have like, I don't know, a couple $1,000 sitting in the bank to go and start investing. And the thing is, you don't need an initial investment to start investing.
So what do you recommend, like the average person, not the middle class and all that? Like, what do you suggest, like, to start with? As you know, start with something, but what is that something? What is that dollar amount?
I'm not going to give dollar amounts because that really depends on you. I think the most important thing is you have to find out how much of your monthly income that you're bringing in you can live with. And if you live within your means, let's say you can survive on 70% of your monthly income, put 20% aside and put it into the market. And remember that every month you're gonna, I think of it, so I deduct like a percentage from my monthly income, and I think of it like I'm paying more expensive rent. You know, it's like if I don't invest, like it would be like the equivalent of me not paying my rent. Like it would, you know, it's trouble, because it's more important for you to like think really long term and really, first of all, be able to live within your means and, you know, put that money aside. Because like Jan said, this isn't money. When I put money into the market, like I have the mindset that I'm not going to touch this for years and years. You know, it's something that I look at as like it's gone. Now it's in this other field growing. And if I try to take it out, it's not something like a business where like the money you get in is actually like an income stream. How much money you get from your business doesn't depend on how much you invested in that business per se. But with investing, how big you grow depends on how much money you have in that investment account. So one of the really dangerous things that people tend to do is like lifestyle creep. They'll see that they're making a lot of money in investing, and they'll try to take that money out and use it to buy, you know, depreciating assets like cars or jewelry or things that they don't need. And it's like, what you really got to do is, you know, let your money like sit there and like, you know, it's like, what are you investing for? So for me, it's like I'm thinking like easily 5 years ahead from now. I'm just gonna grow capital in that account until I have enough for a down payment for a house, and then use that to buy a house. So I'm never actually spending money per se. I'm just moving it from one long-term investment account, the market, to another long-term investment account, real estate. But now I actually have a tangible item that I can use, a house, you know? But I never actually spend money because, like Jan said, that house is an investment. It's an asset that's growing every year. But now I have something. Technically, when you own a stock, you own a percentage of a company. Like that's what it literally means. But it's not something you can grab and touch. Whereas with a house, it's something you're enjoying.
Right, absolutely. So, Jan, I want you to go ahead and elaborate on that question as well about, and just briefly about short-term and long-term. Which one, you get the most out of?
If you look at the wealthiest people on the planet, and you look at compare them to short-term investors, none of those people have ever been short-term investors because there's no way to predict what's going to happen tomorrow, next year, or the year after that. That's why we say like you need to give it at least a 5-year time frame before you know what I'm saying, like even start looking at touching that capital. Like David said, you don't want to save up $20,000 and go buy a house. You want to invest $20,000, flip it to 30, 40, 50. Take your profit, of your initial investment, then go buy a house. You still got, you know what I'm saying, like that same amount sitting in an investment account is just going to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. So short-term investing is mad risky. If that risk tolerance is for you and you have the capital for it, then by all means go for it. But you never.
So you definitely have to risk it for the biscuit with the stock market.
You do, and the shorter your time frame is, the more risky it's gonna get. You don't hear Elon Musk or Meek Mill or Aristotle. You don't hear them talking about. I'm saying like simple accounts that they trade and just trade and trade and trade and trade and trade every single day, all day, every day. You have short-term investments.
Watch the market though, like you have to be. It almost have to be like your second job because it is dealing with your money, right?
Yes, I mean if you want to have a mix of it, I say go like 90% long-term and 10% short-term. Because one thing that I did want to say is that a lot of people think that you have to spend a whole bunch of time looking at the market, in the market, doing all that stuff. You can download Robinhood, set up recurring investments, recurring deposits, and 5 minutes per time, and then you got all your stuff just buying. That's what I do. So I don't even have to pick up my phone to make any kind of money. I just let it all go by itself. But then when you get into the game of trading options, I go medium long term on that. So about 4 to 6 months out will be the shortest time frame that I would target an options contract. And then, we think like years out too. So nothing that I do is short term.
Watch out now. So is you do highly recommend if you're gonna do it for the long term. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get to Adriel. I'm gonna ask you the same question, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break. So Adriel, we're gonna bring you on screen. Let's see what you're trying to say about long term and short term. How has it been working for you so far?
So for me, Jan, so basically I do a lot of what Jan and David say because I'm in that group chat where we be talking about stocks and stuff.
And how can we join this so-called group chat? Because I can hear you talking about it like there's some classified stuff up in there. Watch out now.
So follow either me, David, or Terry on the social medias. I scrolling through the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it's right there,
just DM us, say hey. I want to join the group chat, preferably David or Jan, because they're more into the logistics of how to as far as payment. But $10.69 a month, that's like maybe $120 a year. I've been investing for 3 weeks. I'm up over $600. That's all I'm gonna say.
How long you been investing in?
About 3 weeks, and I'm up at over $600.
With your own money?
Yes.
That you're making off the stock market, you're already accumulated.
Yeah, in 3 weeks. Yep. Wow. So I'm probably gonna stick to the long term because I'm thinking about that 5-year mark. I'm trying to be on some $1 million type vibes. I don't think that's a crazy idea because you can limit yourself to what you want to limit yourself to. But I know personally, I was talking about, I know everyone's seen the GameStop app. I mean, the GameStop stock, it was at like $2 and it shot up to 150. And I was like, hey, y'all, should I like hop in on this? I'm talking to David and Terry, y'all. And you already know they're going to tell me, you know.
Like, you know what time it is.
And I almost took the L.
No, I was
it's all
going to
over
say,
the place.
it's funny. I ain't mean to cut you off. It's funny that you say that, and it's a good example. But he asked if he should buy a put option for it. And I was like, bro, you can't think short term with that stuff because stocks have no ceiling. A put option is basically you saying that you buy a contract that says the stock is going to go down. I was like, bro, when people get on stocks like this, there's no telling what's going to happen. It probably went up like 100-something, 200-something% since that day.
It's at like 250
and it was already
at now.
Because it was at like 130
Yes.
when you said that. And I was like,
So, now, quick question for anyone who can answer this. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to ask this before we go on commercial break. What are some of the most secure stock investment platforms to save money? Don't know.
you said some of the safest stocks.
No, the safest. For me, I know one of the apps that I use is Robinhood to invest my money.
Oh.
So what I'm saying, like, what are some safe apps or companies to invest your money in to make sure
for commission-free investing, you got Robinhood, you got Webull, you got TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim. TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim is like the same thing. So a lot of people use those. I know a lot of people like TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim. And Webull and Robinhood always got some crazy stuff going on, but Robinhood is fairly newer, so I like Robinhood. It's safe, like nothing ever happened to me. You just gotta not post your account and all that crazy stuff and keep it locked. All that go for any account, so any one of those I'm perfectly fine with.
So it's a good, easy, foolproof app to start, playing around with and looking at stocks.
Yeah, it's mad easy. You really download the app. Put in, verify your identity, and then they just open up the market to you. You can start making deposits. They'll give you up to $1,000 worth of instant deposits. So if I pull 1,000 out of my bank account and I wanted to go to Robinhood, they'll let you start trading immediately. Yeah,
that's how it definitely worked for me too as well. Okay, so you guys, when we come back, we're gonna have more questions for Terry, and David, you guys. And yes, if you have any questions about financial literacy or anything that we're talking about tonight, be sure to drop those comments. But we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. Security. All right, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to share. Watch out now. Watch out now. Welcome back to the LCL Show. I am your host, Latasha. Security! Oh, because I thought somebody said something. Listen, you guys, if you have a show idea or a product or a story to tell you guys, be our guest. We are always looking for a good and amazing talent, especially if somebody else can use the knowledge. Watch out now. Visit lclfit.com and tell us your story. So I have some amazing guests here tonight, you guys, and they're talking about investing. And they're dropping a lot of nuggets, and I'm going to bring them back on the screen. First here, we have David. Watch out now. We have Terrion, security. And then we have Adriel. Oh, I thought somebody said something. Watch out now. Y'all are through the roof on this knowledge tonight, guys. You guys so much information. When I get out tonight, I can't wait to check out stuff. You know, but I was hearing Adriel mention something about you guys the group that is available to the public. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And there is like a monthly fee, or how does it work? Just for people who say, hey, I don't know where to start. I need to go now to you guys, and I want to tell you, where do they start? What's the process?
So I guess.
So basically, go ahead, Jan.
I'll speak at once. Watch out.
Yeah. I so my Instagram that's down there going across the screen. I've just been talking about stuff up there all the time and on my YouTube channel, but it's mad hard for me to be able to get the information out as fast as I need to, because obviously, like stocks, they move. So I was putting out information as best as I could, and guys here, they've been following it. We've been talking all that stuff, and then they came with the idea of starting a group chat, and I was just like, cool, whatever. So we started a group chat, and like 1069 is like minuscule compared to the amount of money that you'll make.
Wow. So knowledge is definitely power, you guys. So make sure the information, their Instagram information is scrolling at the bottom. Drop in, kick their brain, get this knowledge, because they just said, if you just tune in, these guys said that it's better to invest your money. You'll make a bigger profit right now if you start investing than your money sitting in the bank account. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that the stock market has more value than our. So if you do not know what you're doing and you need somewhere to start, you have some questions, you guys up on Instagram. Now, let's talk about the financial literacy part of it. Is that correct? David, could you hear me?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The financial literacy part of it. Let's talk a little bit about that. If you could go into that part, please. Watch out.
Yeah, so I think of investing as more like the second stage that you should get to, but the fundamentals part is really where it's really where you have to nail down like the fundamentals and the financial literacy before you can hop into something like investing. So like I said, you don't need like a large sum of money to start investing. I think it is much, much better if first you look at, people say like you should start with a budget. And I think that's going a little too far, but it is smart to take all your monthly income streams and then look at how much money you spend each month on just the bare necessities. I'm talking rent, food, utilities, whether it be a car bill or gas or anything like that, and see how much that percentage makes up of your total monthly income. And then try to, from there, you have a benchmark saying, this is how much I need each month to survive. This is how much I'm making each month. The difference is what I can invest and what I can spend on my wants. So things like, and I'm not saying don't go out and have fun. Don't, occasionally go on vacation or anything. But you should.
Though, because if a person can find a better way to spend their money so that they can enjoy these things, eventually not having to check their account, after they get through having fun, like, dang, how much money I spent. I think this knowledge is important. Tell them.
Exactly right.
Have fun. I said it.
Exactly right. And it is much better to be, financially stable and be in the habit of living within your means, because after a couple of years of doing that, you're gonna have a lot more money to go and have fun. So it's really like, do you want to go and spend it now, and or do you want to, huh?
Nothing. You reap nothing. Let's just say you go out to eat, right? And I just want all you guys to listen to this. Let's just say you go out to eat, right? You're gonna fart, and now you broke as a joke. So you can eat your money, or you gonna invest your money so that it grows.
And the one
Exactly.
thing I'll add to that is that people don't realize that every dollar that you spend today, multiply by 5, because by you not investing money, that's how much it's costing you right now. So if you go buy a $200 shirt, that shirt is costing you $1,000 because you chose not to invest $200. That's how the market works.
Wow. So, Adriel, you had gave me a strategy. You were talking about buying something at full price versus when it's on sale. But even though it's on sale, you still brought it at its full price. Could you go into that a little bit? Because I heard it, but I didn't quite understand it.
So you see it everywhere. It's in a lot of memes and a lot of posts, but a lot of people don't pay attention. They just like to like and share, but they don't really look at the depth of what it's actually saying. So it's basically saying if this hoodie costs $100 retail price and they got it on sale for $60, I didn't save $40. I still spent 60. Because the likelihood is the $40 that I saved, I'm still gonna go spend it on something else.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did personally is, and I started doing a lot of stuff that I was doing last year with my money.
Yeah.
I try not to eat out as much when I go to work. I try and pack my lunch. I don't really buy clothes like that. Like I do most of my shopping. If y'all want to like go out there and buy all that Gucci Louis, that's on you. Like I get like 70% of my clothes right off of Target. And not that I can't go out and buy Nike and all that kind of stuff,
Wisdom.
but my mentality is I could buy these same clothes. They might not have the Nike sign on them or the, you know what I'm saying, the Gucci red and green. But at the same time, I'ma still look just as nice and I'ma have more money that I could put elsewhere that I can grow. You know what I'm saying? My idea is like I can live like comfortably now. Like David said, like within my means, like I don't have nobody to impress. Like I don't like all of that stuff is just to impress someone. And I mean, people like they nice stuff. Eventually, and when I'm a millionaire, I'm probably gonna have me a couple Gucci shirts. I'm not gonna lie. But for right now, that don't fit in my budget. You know what I'm saying? Like buying a $200 shirt is not feasible to me. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Because I could, like Jan said, you could put that $200 in the stock market, turn it into $1,000.
Watch out now.
You feel me?
I love it.
You hit the nail right on the head. Like that, I couldn't have said that better myself. I think it's everything you said is perfect. And one thing I will add to that is I read this thing that is very important. You kind of already mentioned it, but it's like, don't go broke trying to look rich for others that don't care.
Oh my God. You need to say that again for the people in the back. Say it loud for the people in the back. Don't go broke.
Don't go broke trying to look rich for people that don't care about, like, I don't know. People are gonna hate on you either way. Like, why don't you go and do something that you personally enjoy? I personally look at my money as, yeah, I could go and spend it on shoes or something that might make me happy for a little bit, but I rather invest that money and buy myself time later on in my life that I can use to go and do experiences that I couldn't otherwise. So like travel, hike for weeks at a time or things like that. I'd much rather have the ability to do whatever I want with my time than feel flashy,
So with you guys, with the knowledge that you have, like, what do you suggest like the retirement age should be if you're doing what you guys, are doing with
30.
how you're investing your money?
I think I can get out by 30.
Retirement age should be 30. As long as the people mindset so messed up. You get on the internet, everybody talk about, oh, I want to live my 20s, have fun. Like, yeah, go have fun, but be responsible, because like David and Hans was talking about, you don't have to buy all this luxurious stuff. Like I know people out here who buy all this design and stuff and have a dollar to their name. I walk
Wow.
around in clothing just like Hans talked about. I walk around in regular clothes. Sometimes I go
You got a
buy a little
robe on
shirt.
right now.
I do got a robe on right now because I want to look as plain and as basic as possible. I don't want to ever look like I have money. And if you ever read Everyday Millionaire, he talk about that a lot. And like once you get out of that mindset of trying to impress people on social media, like David said, that don't care nothing about you or what you're doing or what you got going on.
Don't care nothing about you. Not gonna pay your
Nothing at
bills.
all.
None of that. And you right here
If you
trying to
focus
impress the next person.
Yeah, if you focus while you're in your 20s, you will live happily for the rest of your life. Instead, people's minds are so messed up to go have fun and be reckless in their 20s and then spend their 30s through their 70s trying to make up for it. Because you literally, it doesn't matter how much money you have, the time value of money, if you look that up, you cannot make up for lost time. It's not possible.
Wow.
So somebody who start investing, say somebody was investing from 25 years old to 35 years old, and they ended up getting $50,000 put into the market. And then they just stop. They never invest another penny the rest of their life. At age 65, compare that to somebody who start investing when they're 35 and they invest all the way to 65. You got one person investing for 10 years, another investing for 30. That person that was only investing for 10 years is going to have way more money. And all they did was invest less money, a third of the amount of money compared to the other person, and they still got more money.
Wow.
But
so
numbers don't
you
lie.
retire early and you want to be wise about your money, especially, and this is a good strategy to teach your kids too while they're young, because that's where it starts at. So like you said, if you're out here risking it for the biscuit trying to impress people who is not going to care anything about you, could have spent, like Adrian said, you could have spent that $200 that you just paid for their shirt. That was a stock investment or a few stocks investment. Watch out now. So that's amazing. Do you guys recommend any books right now that that the beginners and people like myself can also read up on?
The one yeah, go ahead, David.
I personally really recommend this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by, I believe, Napoleon Hill. It's just really changed my mindset entirely. And I think that book definitely, it doesn't really super say, but it goes into the details of like life and like, the need to have, a drive within you and really just to take action more than just think and sit and think, okay, I could do this or that. Just take action more than anything. I think that's the most important thing. But yeah, I really owe a lot of success to that book.
So that book really works, and I've heard this book a few times being thrown around. Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich. But it's not about what you read or what you hear. It's actually about applying the material that you read and that you hear about. So hearing and seeing and reading is one thing, but to actually apply the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it can take you a long way. And I must say, I'm 37 years old right now, and I am actually learning a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's coming to me easy, but I would have done this, everything that I'm learning now, especially from you guys, to my husband, who's, oh my goodness, I've watched him grow. I've watched him stop buying certain things that were, unnecessary. I watched him be more responsible with his money. He's young, so I know that if the right people get into, the right business, the right book, and listen to people like you, and give them the right information, I know that, a lot more of our young generation can be a lot more successful early on in their life. So do you have any suggestions? And I'm going to take this to Jan real quick, and I'm going to go from Jan to Adrian. Jan, do you have any suggestions? If you had to a young person right now about investing in their future, what would you tell them?
I would really stop trying to look cool for the internet, because that's what it all boils down to. That's what a lot of people's futures are really lost. And I would really just like to take like 5 minutes to sit down and show somebody, like I talked about, the time value of money. You can't make up for that lost time, man. Even something as simple as like $5 a month, $10 a month while you're like 18. I think it's like, what is it, like 20 something dollars every week or every month that you invest. If you start while you're 18, invest
Mhm.
that small amount of money every month, you'll be a millionaire.
Wow. OMG. So the same question goes for you, David. Like if you had to mentor a young youth right now, what advice would you give them?
I would say, start off by living within your means. Don't go broke trying to impress people. Start investing right now, and start if you've ever thought about coming up with a side hustle, an additional income stream, whether that be YouTube or selling your services or anything like that. Start right now. Like you will be so happy that you started earlier, because I just started my financial consulting business, and it's like, man, I wish I'd started this way before. I wish I started investing when I was 18 instead of
I don't
like
want to be saying my
22.
could with us no more. Mm-mm.
So
So
just execute. You'll figure it out as you go, but and think of your losses. This is another big one. Think of your losses as life experience. People drop thousands of dollars on college classes that really don't have that great of a return on investment, and people are afraid of losing their money in the market. The money you lose in the market, if you do lose, which at the beginning you will, because you're just learning, think of that as experience, and that is going to have a lot more of
but
a
don't
return
give
on
up.
investment.
But don't give
Think of it as like taking a class or something. It's like taking a class on life, and like that's a lot more valuable in the long run than, I don't know, learning how to, I don't know.
well a $200 shirt that ain't gonna bring you nothing. Watch out now. So the same question goes for you, Adriel. Like if you had to mentor young youth right now, what advice would you give them?
So the first thing I would tell them to do is reevaluate the people that surround them. And I made a post about that because I experienced it myself recently. Like I said, you change the people that you around, you change the people that you talk to on a daily basis, you change the people that you look up to. Your whole mindset, your whole life is going to change because you're going to start to imitate those people. You're going to see, you want to see positivity. Like if you like if you're a young kid, man, and you like want to be out in the streets and you see like all the hype on TV about being hard and junk and all of that, you shouldn't even want to live that lifestyle because it doesn't matter like what someone else's opinion of you is. If you got a nice bank account and you happy with your family, that should be like your end goal. Start to think long term. A lot of people think short term, like we've been talking about this whole thing. Long term investment doesn't just apply to the stock market, it applies to your entire life. You got to invest in the long term. And the sooner you start investing in the long term as far as your life, you're going to see a lot more successes. You're going to see a lot of people fall off. Don't be scared to cut people off because it has to happen. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to cut people off. Warren Buffett, I guarantee you, has cut off a lot of people in his life, and he's a billionaire because he had bigger goals. He had bigger lifelong lessons that he had to teach himself and learn from other people that were in his is where he wanted to be. If I want to be a businessman and I'm 16 years old, you know what I'm saying? I know I want to be like a famous YouTuber or something. I'm not gonna go hang out with my friends that's out there doing like illegal stuff on the street. I'm looking on YouTube trying to get picked up. I'm watching YouTube every day trying to see, learn from what I'm trying to be. If I want to be a successful investor, then I'm going to surround myself with other successful investors.
That
I'm
part.
going to watch people that invest in the stock market and learn from them and learn tips from them. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately. And you can see, you're going to see your pocket change. Like I told you, I made over $600 in the stock market. And that's not a lot yet, but it's only been 3 weeks.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? And just changing like my whole mindset. Now I'm like thinking business, business, business. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We got this group chat and we really want to help people. These two right here are really smart and they are really successful. And if you want to learn from really successful people and you want to be really successful, you should surround yourself with people that are going to be really successful. Join our group chat. And we're not just trying to get no money off y'all. That's why it's only $10. Like that's cheap. And I'm telling you, the knowledge that you get in there every day. We go over plays that we think we're gonna make. You could go in there and ask him about a play, and I ask Terry on about a play. I don't even do the research. He'll do the research for me and come back and tell me if it's a good idea or not. Like like they gonna help you. Like you're not wasting your money. I promise you. Like, and it's not even about the money. It's just being around a group of people with the similar goals. If you're not trying to get money, don't join the group chat. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're not trying to be successful, don't join the group chat.
So the group chat are not for people who are not trying to.
If you're not trying to, yeah.
That part, that's right. Don't even waste your money if you're gonna.
Don't even waste it.
Yeah, because if you're not ready to sit down and think long term and learn, you're gonna jump into the market too early, and that's gonna be a lesson that you do not want to pay for. So until you mentally ready, yeah, it's best to just watch from the sidelines, just mature, just you know what I'm saying, every day, every week, just mature a little bit till it's time for you to get in there.
Read those books. Everyday Millionaire, like Jan said.
Oh, and The Go-Giver. The Go-Giver was probably one of my favorite books.
Go-Giver, is that a book as well?
Yeah, I do the audiobooks. I would drive back and forth to work and just play the books. Or play the audiobooks.
Okay. So you guys, we have dropped a lot of today. Thank you so much to thank you so much to David. Thank you so much to Adrian. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to format people. This is a service for giving that these gentlemen share with you guys tonight. If you're just coming in, go back and watch the they drop some amazing they're super amazing and knowledgeable in what they are doing. And I've just had the pleasure to bring them on the LCL show and get some of this knowledge, because a lot of questions I was asking, I was also asking for myself. Watch out now. So David, Terrion, Adriel, thank you guys so much. We're about to run out of time. So you guys, if you want to get in touch with them and you want to join their group chat, you know, $2 a month. Get the knowledge, get wisdom, and get the understanding, so that you don't run out of there without the wisdom and without the knowledge. And then you have the understanding to do and then end up making something that can be prevented, you guys. So that information that Instagram links are at the bottom. Go ahead and drop in the inbox let them know you have $10. It's worth a really good and 10. Watch out. So guys, thank you for that. And go ahead and good night. And like I said, the information is scrolling at the bottom. All right, you guys. Good night, people. Sayonara.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and take them off the screen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the LCL show. I am your host, Latasha. So look, if you have a show idea, a product, a story, or a brand, be our guest. Do not be scared to submit that story to lclfit.com. Also, you guys, if you're looking to invest in your health and wellness needs as well as your weight loss, go ahead and visit lclfit.com. We have an amazing slimming cream on sale right now. I'm telling you, a little bit goes a long way. Watch out now. Go ahead and invest in yourself. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the LCL show. I am your host, Latasha, and don't forget to watch out now. Good night, you guys, and thank you so much for watching.